Okay, so I'm trying to do my first video in English, so let's see how that goes. Hope it's understandable and my language is fine by you English speakers out there. I've been brewing for a while, some years, and the last years I've been brewing on my grain father, as you probably know if you're into home brewing. Today I'm doing a session IPA I call Shake Your Lacto. Really simple grain bill. It's only 4 kilos of Golden Promise, a bit of oats and a bit of wheat, malted wheat and flaked oats. And I'm gonna mash for an hour at 67 degrees Fahrenheit. No way I'm gonna do that. That's too low. Celsius, of course. I'm in Denmark, so we use the metric and Celsius. So I'll be back later and follow up on the mash when I'm mashed in. Okay, so I'm had begun to mash in, and temperature dropped just a bit. Hey, that's my toes. But that's fine. It's gonna be up in a moment. So yep, it's up now. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna continue adding the grains and then stirring it in and then making sure there's no dough balls or anything. I usually have like a stand for my phone so I can do better videos, but I forgot to bring it into the kitchen today. So for these first videos, at least the first parts of the video, I'm just gonna do this handheld. So yeah, gonna be back. Alright, so the flow in the mash is quite fine. I had to stop at one point and stir the mash. Should do for better efficiency anyway. So, but now the flow is quite nice, and I think it will clear up at some point. And yeah, let's see how that goes, because I'm gonna add lacto, as I told you, and quite a bit of hops. So it's not gonna be a clear beer anyway. So yeah. Okay, so the brew day is almost too easy. The flow is perfect out there, and I already measured up the hops. It's a mixture of Galaxy, YET, and Citra. The smell in the house is divine right now. It's sweet from the mash, and then the tropical already, without even adding them to the beer. So that's great, but it's almost so easy. I'm just sitting around right now in my living room drinking coffee while the grandfather does its thing. So yeah, perhaps it's a bit hard to see, but it cleared out kinda okay. Not entirely clear, but yeah, it doesn't really matter too much because of the amount of hops that's going in later. But yeah, I took a measurement, and it's about 1.075 SG. So I extracted some sugars for sure. So yeah, that's cool. It's I've just raised the temperature for the last 10 minutes, and it's sparging out, and then mashing out, and then starting the sparge in just a few minutes. So yeah. So starting the sparge in just a moment. Doing it really simple. I didn't need that much water today, so I just took my big pot. I usually have an electric sparge water heater, but I only need about 13 liters, so I could have 11 in that one and a bit more over here. So yeah, starting the sparge and then take a measurement and go. Yeah, so I reached the boil now. Overshot the numbers just a bit. I was expecting 10.042 and got 10.046, so nice. I'm gonna add my bittering addition in just a moment. It's one of these. I don't know if you're familiar with them. It's, at least in Denmark, it's called a hop shot, and it adds 10 IBUs per milliliter. 1 milliliter adds 10 IBUs in 20 liters of water, so quite efficient. It gives a really clean bitterness without any flavoring. So I'm quite happy to use that, and it's cheap if you're considering the economic part of it. I usually don't. I brew this so small amounts of beer, so it's not because of that, but it's really easy to control the bitterness that way. So yeah, Just gonna stir in the hot break and then add the bittering addition and start the boil. So, yep. So it's bubbling along quite fine. Just added my hop spider for the whirlpool addition. It wasn't actually necessary to do now, and just circulating has just been circulating a bit of water through the counterflow chiller, so it's nice and clean. You can just start the pump. You can get an expression of the color of the water. Oh, it's just gonna cough a bit here. I think it's gonna come along just fine in a moment. Hopefully. Yeah, that is. Oh, that is. There's a nice clear yellow, quite pale. It's gonna be fine, I think. So I just added the lacto and circulated a bit, so you can see the temperature just went down below 100, but I don't think that matters. It's gonna be up in a moment. Just a small thing I sometimes experience when I brew with the Grainfather. I create my recipes in the Brewfather software and then export them to the Grainfather Bluetooth app, and it somehow messes up late editions of fermentables. Yeah, I know lacto isn't fermentable, but it lists under fermentables, so somehow it doesn't wanna take those into consideration, so it somehow just forgets them. But yeah, that's just the way it is, I guess. Okay, so the boil's done. I cooled down a bit to do a whirlpool. I'm not really whirlpooling, but I'm recirculating the water through my hop spider, and you can see I just dumped the whirlpool hops, YT, Galaxy, and the last one I just forgot. As then has Citra, of course. Great. Citra is cryo hop. The other two are just T90 pellets. So just gonna whirlpool for 20 minutes and then cool and rack onto my fermenter. Yeah, pretty easy brew day so far. Hit the numbers, just measured. Almost hit the numbers. I bowled off a bit less than I expected apparently. So instead of 10.051, it's 50. So 1050. It's okay for a sessionable beer. Let's see where it ends when it's done fermenting.